Yeah, awesome. This is so cool. I can't believe you did this whole thing in a weekend.
What's up, guys? I'm super amped. It's Friday night, and this weekend I'll be filming the first ever episode of I'll Handle the Tech Side, where I build one of my subscribers' tech, business, or product ideas in one weekend. Here we go. I picked one of the ideas from a subscriber in my last video, IQQD Sound, and that idea is a quiz maker for audio quizzes and ear training quizzes for musicians. There are a lot of amazing ideas submitted, and I still might make some of those ideas in my subsequent videos. In terms of my selection criteria, honestly, the primary thing was I wanted an idea that I at least had some confidence I could make good progress in just for the first video. And I think as I go along for future episodes, I'll pick more and more challenging ideas that take me more outside my comfort zone. And also because one of the main startups I'm working on right now is actually in the music space as well, which I thought was cool. So shout out to IQQD Sound, and also shout out to everyone else that commented ideas. There's some really cool ones out there, and I hope I can build a lot of them and more of your ideas in the future. So offline, I followed up with IQQD Sound, and I asked him a few questions, clarifying stuff I would need to know before I could build a prototype. Here's the basic requirements. So I need to be able to create a bank of potential questions to be in a quiz, which means I need to be able to create a question and upload audio for that question. And I need to be able to create a quiz and associate that with a group of questions. The second thing is actually a stretch feature, which is being able to support questions with an EQ curve. And then I need to be able to store users' responses as they take the quiz so I can see if they get it right or wrong. And I need to be able to embed the quiz in a website. So it's 11:35 p.m. on Friday night. It's a bit later than ideally I'd be getting started, but I work fairly late hours because I'm working San Francisco hours from Toronto, and I also got in a quick workout. I said I would give the full weekend to the project, but as always, things come up. So I've got a poker game at 9 p.m. tomorrow that will probably take the whole night. And I'm honestly not a very early riser, so I don't see myself getting up at, say, 6 a.m. tomorrow. Probably won't get up till noon. So in terms of planning out where I'm hoping to spend my time, my goal for this evening is to figure out the database models, or at least roughly, that I think I'll be using. So what I'm doing here, fairly sped up, is actually creating the schema or the structure of the database. It's 12:43. I've hit, I guess, my goal for the night, which is I have the models actually set up. I have my service. I think the next step I'll start with is building the backend server code. Hey guys, good morning. It's 12:23. I'm finally about to start work. It's a bit of a late start to the day, as I warned you guys might happen last night, but I'm not very good at being an early riser, but shouldn't let that hold you back. I think I'm gonna get into coding now. It's a bit cold, which is one of the reasons I had trouble waking up, hence the blanket, but hopefully it'll be a good productive day until 9 p.m. when I have poker. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting up my first backend server route. The server sits between the front end, which is the website that users are actually using to take the quiz, and the database that we just created. This specific route is to add a question to the database. So now I'm building my first front-end component. I'm using a JavaScript library or framework called React, which is great for creating reusable components. And I'm starting with the question creator component, just so I can fully test end-to-end the server route that I've just built. Let's see if this actually can render on the screen. My guess is cannot. I'm surprised that nothing is rendering. So I'm just gonna see why. Why is nothing rendering? Something showing up on the screen, that's a win. So now that the component's actually showing up on the screen, I want it to actually work and write something to the database. So let's see if this actually works. Is this working? No. Very much no. Super no. Yes? Very hard question. The right question is hopefully option 4. So let's just see. Did this create a question? No. Again. Cool. Okay, So we can now post a question in the database. We have one working end-to-end feature. Then isolation looks ugly and does nothing. We have no quiz. We have no audio. We can't add questions to a quiz. We can't view a question. So I think it's time to take lunch. This is me trying to flex how healthy my lunch is, not pictured the extra large pizza I ordered at 2 a.m. So now that I could actually create just a simple text question, the next step was being able to upload audio, which is very important for this music quiz. I decided to use an Amazon service called S3 to store my audio clips, and honestly this is probably the part of the project I struggled the most with. I just kept getting stuck, and it took way too long. What you can see here is I've already uploaded an audio clip, and now when I create a question, in addition to going to the database, it saves the audio clip to S3. So now that I can create a question and upload audio, I want to be able to view that question and play the audio. If we were to have an audio clip, but it doesn't seem to recognize that. It turned out there were actually two reasons my audio clip wouldn't play. The first, I was just uploading a clip with the wrong audio file format, and the second, I didn't have permissions to read files from my S3 bucket. So once that was fixed, after selecting a genre, in this case rock, I received 5 songs from underground artists in that genre. So now that I could actually save questions to the database, save the audio from those questions, view the questions, I was about done for the day. I ended up playing poker from 9 till around 2 a.m. And then I got back to the project, worked another hour, probably from 3 till 4 a.m. So here's a quick clip I got that captured my progress at the end of day 1 or start of day 2. As you may notice, it's taken from my phone because of some technical issues that I'll get into. But I basically had the bare bones of creating and taking a quiz. So some bad news for you guys. I'm much newer to this whole YouTube thing than I am to coding. And so I completely ran out of space on my computer, encountered some technical issues, and I lost a lot of the footage from the second day. So I'm actually curious how much detail you guys like in the footage. Drop a comment below if you want more detail on some of the coding implementation pieces, or less detail, you just want to see the finished product, something like that, how long it took. Also, in addition to commenting, now's a great time to ask you guys to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It took days of time, literally, just to implement it, and then days more of time to edit this video from the 20 hours of footage. Also, I love my subscribers, and the whole point of this is to build their ideas. So if you have any ideas after subscribing, comment those ideas down below too. And I can't wait to hopefully make one of your ideas. So anyway, getting back into it, on the second day, I worked from around 1 p.m. till around 8 p.m. On the question functionality, as well as the ability to actually embed the quiz that's been created into the website, which was a key requirement of IQPD Sound. So without further ado, let's actually take a look at the finished product. Okay, so here's the homepage. I'll go and create a quiz. So first I see the question bank of existing questions. Let's say I'm not satisfied, I'll make a new question. So now I'm entering the different options in the question text. And I can select the difficulty of the question. It will balance it out, so it's never too hard or too easy a quiz. And I've chosen my audio clip. I create a question. It's now available in the bank. Now I get to include how many I want in the quiz. I create it. Now I can take my quiz. I can listen to the audio clip, which would normally be a music related one. I'll pick an option. And now I can see how I did on the quiz. If I hit take again, it will generate another quiz for me with potentially new random questions chosen from the set of questions I've selected in the previous screen. As per the requirements, it's super easy to embed the quiz on a website or a blog. Just copy this HTML that's generated here onto your website. This is actually an extremely jank blog I threw together just to show that it works. Here's the quiz embedded in the site. Great, so after I finished making the product, I sent it over to my subscriber who asked for it. I walked him through it, and here's some of his reaction.
The interface works really well from my end, and I think the user end is really cool too. And yeah, this would give me an excuse to kind of start learning coding a little more. I'm excited to start tweaking this, and great job, really love it. Thank you so much.
It was really great to see that my subscriber was getting use out of the site, since that was the entire point of this series. He did actually have a few requests as well, and I implemented the ones that I could on the spot for him. Looking back, it was a really exhausting experience trying to finish a project like this, start to finish in one weekend. But it was really rewarding, and I'm glad I could get it in place for my subscriber. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not sure how often I'll be doing the I'll handle the tech side just because it's so time intensive. I'm thinking maybe one per month. But I'll be releasing a lot of cool videos following startups that I'm working on personally. And if you have a tech idea, please comment it down below, and maybe I'll build it on the next episode of I'll Handle the Tech Side. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.